Welcome to the show. Today we decided to spice things up a little bit. Being inspired by Coffee with Karan, we'll be having a rapid fire round. Each of us will be asking questions about classic marketing debates, and based on marketing principles only, we'll be deciding which one is better. So Sami, are you ready?
Always ready, Ariel. Start.
Let's start. So your first one is Milkbank versus Allpers.
I've worked on Milkbank, so it will always be a bias. You'll always see the bias in me. Heritage brand has been there for around 35 years as compared to a newbie. Allpers I'd call a newbie completely. And I think it stands for a lot more than a newbie like Allpers does. So easily for me it's Milkbank, which does not have as deep pockets as Allpers does. So, but I still prefer Milkbank on that.
And who do you think is leading right now?
I think now they're at parity. Back in my day, of course, we were leaders.
Obviously. Okay, your next one is Ariel Surf.
I think the platform Surf has chosen, not just locally but also globally, it started from Brazil, modern parenting. I prefer that platform over what Ariel picks as a demonstration and product-based platform for marketing. Daag to achhe hote hain, daag nahi to seekhna nahi. I think those stood for a lot more than just a performance-based product that Ariel is. So easy choice in that case as well, I think, and they are the market leaders as well. So Surf Excel it is.
Okay, very clear. Safeguard Lifebuoy.
Safeguard Lifebuoy. I think even if you ask Lifebuoy people, they'd still admit that it's Safeguard, because Safeguard completely changed the dynamics of an industry which did not stand for what it is now. Kids were never involved or had any say in buying a soap. But when Safeguard came up with Commander Safeguard and the way they worked on that campaign itself, kids became the decision makers as far as buying soap is concerned. I've personally seen myself, kids telling their parents what to buy, which soap to buy. So I think that dynamic has changed now. And Lifebuoy is more of a follower in that case. They had a bit of more equity when they were carbolic, and when they moved from carbolic to Etibag, I think they're just following Safeguard, so Safeguard it is.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I was in the company, so witness to the story firsthand. My 4-year-old nephew at that time was doing tick, 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 tick. So, I mean, they really had all these elements.
I love the creative myself as well. I was a big fan of Dirt 2 and all those characters that were.
Yeah. Just a trivia note on that one as well, that the whole cartoon episode was aired as a public service message, so free of cost.
Free of cost?
Yes.
Who did this?
Lipton Tapal.
Lipton versus Tapal. To be honest, I don't even know what Lipton is trying to say to me. Even though I am probably the target audience for Lipton, but I'm not close to the brand. If I were to pick, I'd probably choose between Tapal and Supreme. Supreme as a brand was bigger and stood for family conflict resolution, which is comparable to what Family Mixture says, and even the product Family Mixture is better. But if you have to choose between Lipton and Tapal, I'll not even be close to Lipton. It's easy choice for me choosing Tapal, because I don't understand what Lipton does, honestly, as a brand. I'm not close to it at all.
Clear. And probably the most classic of all debates, Apple versus Samsung.
Apple versus Samsung. As a marketing point, if I take from marketing point of view, I think it's the image that matters in this segment. So if Apple has gone completely on imagery, people would like to be seen with an Apple product more than they would like to be seen with a Samsung product. And that's purely imagery. Samsung might have a better product, specs wise, or sound, for example, in case of an iPod, or other factors. But imagery clearly is where Apple wins it, and I would pick Apple as far as marketing is concerned.
Okay, very good. That concludes your points.
Now your turn. Are you ready, Adil?
Yes, bring out the hamper.
There's no hamper. This is not Coffee with Karan. So we'll start with another classic: Nike versus Adidas.
Just do it versus impossible is nothing. Okay, I think Nike takes the cake here because they were pioneers in tying up with athletes and really getting into the pop culture. Air Jordan is a classic example. At that time, Michael Jordan wasn't such a big star, but they made him that star. Also, bodies like the Cannes Advertising Festival have nominated Nike as the Advertiser of the Year twice. No other company has that honor. Plus, Nike ads have won 2 Emmys. So I think Adidas is catching up, but Nike is by far better.
I didn't know this.
Although Adidas sponsors Man U, so I have to.
You're not allowed to choose.
Keep that in mind. Yes.
Sticking to the same theme. So, as a brand, not as a sporting academy, or as a football club, Man U versus Barca.
Again, very much biased because I've been a Man U supporter for a long time. But between football clubs, I think it comes down to the story you tell or the story you have to tell. And it also comes down to stability. In terms of stability, I think Man U shades it because they had two managers who covered 50 years. The whole story about the plane crash and then the young guys winning titles in Europe and locally, having their own body of stars as well. I think Man U has a better story to tell. Although Barcelona, you might argue, more nationalistic positioning, also fighting against the rich boys, Madrid, having their own stars like Messi and so on. Also not having any advertising on shirts, then going with UNICEF as their first one. So even they have their own story. However, the choice of partners also plays a role, and there I believe Man U has done a better role.
Yeah, and I think Man U has more following and fan base in Pakistan as compared to Barca.
I would like to think so.
I think so. Also, Xbox versus PS4.
That's an interesting one. I've played both consoles. From a marketing point of view, again, it's PS because they always feature their target market very prominently in their ads. Tying up with Champions League was a masterstroke, I believe. Whereas on the other hand, Xbox focuses a lot on the gaming aspect of it. Although a lot of other factors come in, the hardware, the console itself, the controllers, the gaming titles, the memory capacity and so on. So many technical things come into this discussion, but purely on a marketing level, I think PS takes the cake.
PS is the choice. Clear. Okay. Clear means now my next question. Head and Shoulders versus Clear. This wasn't planned, this just came in.
Very corny. In the case of anti-dandruff shampoos, I believe both of them are doing similar things. So they're both demo-based ads, they're both on celebrity endorsement. So I think what it comes down to is the choice of celebrity at the moment as well as the execution in the ad. So, I mean, on a local context, if you take Afridi for HNS versus Fawad for Clear, they're not from the same field. Fawad Khan. So I believe Fawad, the actor right now, is more popular. So maybe Clear is edging it right now.
Okay. Who do you think is the market leader in this segment?
I don't have the numbers, but I think it's Clear as well. I think the launch or the relaunch that they did from that local brand to the global Clear concept was really a case study. So it was very well done, very well executed.
Even if you don't have the numbers, the perception you have is that Clear is the market leader.
Correct.
And Clear has been there half the time as compared to
I would say so, yeah.
Head and Shoulders, which came in 1992. So if in half the time they've gotten the perceptual leadership, that still is a big achievement. So Clear is your pick. And getting very local now, the last question. Shan versus Nestle.
Again, the latest ads that Shan have done, those two boys living outside making biryani, as well as the Shan Stories, which is the latest campaign, I give them credit for breaking the clutter. Whereas National has stuck more to the local themes with those grand Havelis and the song and dance, celebration of food. But those ads could be a milk ad or a cooking oil ad. So again, nothing unique. So for me, again, Shan takes it.
Between the two will pick.
Yeah.
So that's it from our side, ladies and gentlemen. These are our views on the classic marketing debates that we have. Let us know what you think, which ones are your picks between these classic choices consumers and marketeers have. And also let us know if you would like to hear more on which brands and which classical debates that we have. Thank you very much from Marketing Phir Say. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Messi or Ronaldo, which one is your choice?
No, I think
CR7 is a bigger brand.
Correct, so Ronaldo. I think we, yeah.